Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the 100 episode 406 titled We Will Rise, which premiered Wednesday, March 15, 2017 on the CW. It is March 20th that I'm recording on, so it's been a few days. I've been busy with work last week, so I'm just ready to talk about it now. So huge spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen, so take a moment to read over those, and then let's start with the 10-minute clock. So what happened in this episode? So timeline-wise, I'm thinking it's been a few hours after the destruction of Arcadia's Alpha Station, if not immediately afterwards, since we kind of still see the remains of it still burning in the background. So it definitely hasn't been long since the previous episode. Episode reminder, though, is pretty much dealing with dangerous stakes at hand. The objective, though, is the main objective, I guess you could say, is transporting the last 10 barrels of hydrazine to Raven on the island. So storyline-wise, I've pretty much broke it down to 3 different storylines going on, again, by location. First, you have the island brainstorming going on. Second, you have the cargo transport. And then third, you have the Arcadian riot. So with the first one, with the Island Brainstorm, you see Raven, Murphy, and Luna focused on this one. Raven finds out that crashing in the water is the only solution for them to survive the trip to space, thanks to some help from Luna and Murphy. We also see Luna giving some insight to Murphy about Raven and kind of where she's at the moment. And then we also see Luna relating to Murphy's self-hate. And we kind of get a little bit more information on Luna's upbringing and how she was raised to be and how she has perceived herself to be because of it. So there's that. Second one, cargo transport, deals with Clark, Bellamy, and Roan, who were tasked to take the 10 barrels of hydrazine to Raven from Arcadia. So throughout this whole travel, though, we get Clark is taken hostage by the Asgada guards that were with Rowan. They turn traitor and hopes to use the hydrazine to better advance Asgada. But Rowan helps rescue Clark and save the barrels, but unfortunately one barrel was lost when the tree crew attacked them earlier. One arrow had gotten into a barrel and it just leaked during the whole drive. So unfortunately, we're stuck with 9 barrels at the moment. Third storyline deals with the Arcadian riot. Now, there's a riot happening back at the remains of Alpha Station against Ilion, who is a prisoner for his destruction of Alpha Station. He gets beat up a few times, though, but Kane tries to put a protective detail on him. Unfortunately, David Miller, Nathan's dad, kind of turns on that command and kind of gives Ilion to the people. So there's that. Octavia definitely runs with it. She definitely sets up to kill Ilion in the very same way that Pike had murdered Lincoln in. She had inadvertently stepped into the same path, and it was during that memory that she kind of broke down from it. But during that breakdown, Jaha uses the fear of Black Rain to help with Ilion's escape. And while doing so, Octavia runs away after reliving Lincoln's death and the fact that she was about to recreate that moment that broke her heart, pretty much. So there's that. Last moments of the episode show that Raven has a seizure, again, after completing a workable solution with the crashing into the water. Yet she just had discovered that they only have 9 barrels of hydrazine to work with now instead of the 10. So there's that. Tidbits, though, the fact that Prime Fire seems to be, the news about it seems to be spreading very quickly. It seems everyone comes to know about it, to the point that everyone's trying to return back home and get back to their own people and stuff like that. Also, we see Nahila is helping Octavia get movement back in her leg, physiotherapy, I guess you can say, with that. So she's still back in Arcadia, taking up on Clark's offer, which I'll mention in a moment. And it also looks like Jasper's acting as a bartender still. So there's that. Now, shipper status. We get a bit of Murphy and Raven going on. He's her monitor while she does her work, but she still hates on him with a passion. But there's definitely something there. I mean, Murphy could easily walk away and just not deal with Raven's crap, but he sticks around and still watches her back, which is something between those two. So there's that. Also with Clark and Nahila, we also well, first scene we see of them is waking up in bed together, but we also see Clark inviting Nyla to stay and use her room while she's away, and to kind of like just stay in Arcadia so that she knows that she's safe, or that once they get a cure with, or once they create their own Nightblood solution, then Nyla would be among the first to get it since she's in Arcadia. So they seem to be going, I don't know what their status is. Are they officially together, or are they just hooking up or something? But they definitely, the attraction we saw between them in 301 is definitely still there, apparently. Also, with Bellamy and Octavia, we got the whole fact that she hates her brother and blames him for a lot of things, but he can't help but still be there and check up on her, and even if he has to take her hate, he still wants to be with her after almost losing her. They're the only family they have of each other, so there's that. And also there's Clark and Bellamy. They save each other mainly. Bellamy helps rescue Clark from the traitor as Gator Guards, and then we also get an almost goodbye between the two of them, just before they were going to split off, with him going back to Arcadia and her going to the island. We don't know what he was going to say to her. So there's that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, though, I was a little surprised that they lost one barrel in the transport, and I was a little surprised that there wasn't a big kaboom when it happened, since it's supposed to be very dangerous material, the hydrazine. So they got lucky in the fact that it draining didn't cause an explosion for them, but now that they're one less barrel short of some powerful explosives to work with. So there's that. Kind of should have figured that trip wasn't going to go as smoothly as you would hope, but at least it could have been worse, I guess we could say. So moving on, though, to the top 3 favorite moments. I really only have 2 major ones, and it kind of subheading from that. So the main one has to deal with Clark, Bellamy, and Roan. I really like seeing this trio work together. I've always been interested in how any of the 3 of them work together, especially Bellamy and Clark. I'm already a fan of those 2, and then I've already grown to love any interaction between Clark and Roan. And then we finally got to see Bellamy and Roan working together and actually being on the same page together. So I really like this trio working together. I really like how in sync, I guess you can say, when they came to each other, or how they knew how to work with each other, or how to use each other's strengths to their advantage. So I really like that. Another major thing is Clark and Bellamy, again, in general. The smiles they gave each other after she was rescued, and then the moment they almost had by the shoreline just before they were getting goodbye. The only peeve was that Rowan interrupted there. I want to know what Bellamy wanted to tell Clark, because he said, in case I don't see you again. She just tells him, you will see me again. I still want to know what Bellamy was going to say in that moment. I really want to. It's just like amping it up and everything. So there's that. Second major favorite I had to deal with Murphy, Raven, and Luna. And it's really because of the fact that I love it that we get to see Murphy worrying over Raven, putting his own snark to it. And yes, he pisses her off at times, though, but he's still there. He's still taking all the kicks that she gives him, and he worries when she can't really take care of herself, or she's overdoing it. He's trying to be there for her in a way that she will allow, considering what's happened between the 2 of them. But it's just very interesting to get the 2 of them working together like this. It's always the little things between Raven and Murphy that I always love. It really, you could build on that for sure. And then also added Luna to it. She's an outsider who is getting to see not only what is going on between Raven and Murphy, or what kind of dynamic they have, but she is also seeing what Raven's going through on her own and what Murphy's going on through, and she's giving insight to each other, or to either Raven or Murphy, about the other one. So it's just really interesting to see her take on these 2, and it's just, I really like that. I definitely like the growing dynamic you get of the 3 of them, especially when they're sharing a scene together, all 3 of them together. So that was great as well. Moving on to the top 3 peeve moments. It's not really peeved, but it's just a confliction because of the fact that I'm a sole Bellamy and Clark fan. So my heart is conflicted over the fact that Clark is together or not together with Nyla. I mean, yes, I want to see Clark happy, And if that's what Nahyla, sure, that's a temporary thing right now. But, like, I'm still going to be rooting for Bellamy and Clark. Like, really, really rooting for their leadership and everything. It's just, at least with Clark and Nyla, I like the supportiveness between the two of them. Let's just hope that Nahyla still lives, though. Because if it's going to be a trope of all of Clark's lovers dying, then I am completely okay with her and Bellamy being a very slow burn, because I still want him alive. So there's that. Moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode, the whole mission with the cargo transport. There's the time room. So that's going to be a huge reminder, mainly because of Clark, Bellamy, and Ron, for sure. Moving on to random questions, so very quickly. I kept thinking, where was Miller the whole time they showed the Arcadian scenes? But then I remember that he went to the island. But where is he? We haven't seen Nathan Miller, since episode 404. That doesn't seem much since this is episode 406, and we kind of skipped a week, so it's like 3 weeks we haven't seen him. But I'm wondering what he exactly is doing on the island. Is he exploring a bit more? Is he finding certain things in Allie's or in Becca's hideaway? But there's that. I'll definitely say this, though. The actor, Jared Joseph, I believe, he is on Saving Hope, which just started up last week. So he plays, I think he plays a doctor. He's part of the medical team on that show. So at least I'm seeing him there. So there's that. Second question, though. What was Bellamy going to tell Clark before Roan interrupted? That's going to be a huge thing that's on my mind. I wonder if it's going to be brought up again later on, if he's going to try to find a way to tell her. If anything, I want to know what he was going to say, what he's going to bring up to her. So there's that. Moving on to Moving on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 407, it looks like Black Rain has finally arrived. It has a bit of a burning effect on them from the looks of it. Also, it looks like testing a cure means risking the life of a test subject, which Abby contemplates whether this is considered a murder or not. But based off the synopsis, though, it reads that Clark's arrival on the island quickly takes a turn for the worse. Meanwhile, Bellamy tries to avoid further tragedy in Arcadia. So from the looks of it, we are getting Clark and Bellamy split up. One leader going to the island to deal with the whole Nightblood situation, and the second leader going to deal with the fallout in Arcadia. So I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. Wondering if Rowan's going to go back with them, or if Rowan's going to head back to Polis. But I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But that is just about it that I could think about. But yeah, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, opinions about what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check it out in the link below. It's also attached to my WordPress account, which is a work in progress, but it's more organized, so everything I post online is connected to that account mainly, but everything else is usually interconnected. So follow me there if you like. I believe that's everything else, though, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry if this is posting a lot later than it should be. Again, busy with work this week. They're just slamming me like crazy. So hopefully I'll get back on schedule once it dies down a bit. But thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.